Hello and welcome to the transcription explanation of this design. Before I get into the nitty-gritty of how to read this script using this cipher, I want to talk a little bit about the line thicknesses and some important things I think for your tattoo artist. So this is a cipher, and the important part is where things connect up and where they are relative to each other. So little things like this line ending here is important, and little things like this line ending here, stuff like that. That's all important. They also have 3 different line thicknesses. The line thicknesses are less important. The only space where line thicknesses actually matter is here. So in this stack of circles, this circle needs to be thicker than this one. So the outer one needs to be thicker than the inner one. That's the only time when line thickness actually matters. But otherwise, the line thickness I do think looks aesthetically nice and adds a bit of depth to it. And I used 3 different line thicknesses throughout the piece. There's a 2mm thick line. There's a 1mm thick line. Oh, shoot, there's 2 more. There's a 1.3mm thick line. This guy. For all the little circles. And then last but not least, there's a 0.7mm thick line, which is this one. So they're all present in this little circle here. So we have the 2mm, 2mm, 1.3mm. No, wait, this is the 1mm. 1mm. This is the 1.3mm, and this is the 0.7mm. So 2, 2, 1, 0.7, 1.3, and then these lines are all 1mm. Anyway, you don't have to get that nitty-gritty with the line differentiation, like especially between the 0.7 and the 1 and the 1.3. They could all be the same. The only difference is the 2mm lines need to be thicker. Then I think it'll look just fine. Anyway, so that's a little bit about this and what actually matters. Line thickness doesn't matter except for here, and I also talked about my 4 different line thicknesses that I've used consistently through here. Anyway, so that's that. Let's get into the actual translation of this design. So we read the script starting at the bottom and then going counterclockwise around each word. And that's noted right here. Reading order is bottom counterclockwise, and it can spiral inwards if you're doing like a circular design or a really big word that requires more letters than could fit conveniently around the outside of it. And you also have a start here and orientation marker, which is this little guy right here. So this tells you that this is the beginning of the circle and that this direction is down. So here we have our start marker on our sentence circle going around our word circle here, and that means our first letter is here. So we have a completed circle. So this is a completed circle stem, like this one and this one, but it is inside our word circle. So here's our word circle again, going around the outside of it, and then this is completed inside our word circle, and there are 1, 2, 3 dots on it, so that makes it in this column. So this row plus this column makes it an L. So we combine the letter stems, so the rows, with the modifiers, which are the columns. So there's dot modifiers and line modifiers, and lines only count where they end on a letter stem, so this thick line passing through the L doesn't count. And then there's an A attached or stacked onto the L, so it's in the same letter stem. So because it's directly in line with the L, it is stacked, and consonants are read before vowels when letters are stacked, so L-A. And then we have another vowel, and that vowel is not stacked, it's just by itself, and it has a line going outwards, away from the word circle. So this thick line here is actually just the line modifier from the U. The sentence circle is going around here. And then we continue around. Here we have a deep divot stem, so this stem, so we're in this row, and there's 1 line ending on it. Again, it's this thick line, so this thick line is also another line modifier, not a sentence circle. And this thick line ends on a deep divot, making that a G. So G, and then we have an H with 1, 2 lines. So even though this is the same line curving around, because it ends here and it ends here, it counts twice, making it H, because this line, it could squiggle around, go do whatever, and then come back here, and it'd be exactly the same thing. So L-A-U-G-H. So that's laugh, and this is a sentence circle going around it. And then we have this sentence circle going around the word hard. Here we have the H and the A stacked, 2 lines on the H, just like these 2 lines on that H, HA. And then we have a shallow divot with 1, 2, 3 dots. So just like the L, the R also has 3 dots because it's in the same column, and so is the D. D is also a 3-dot letter. The difference being this is a shallow divot, so this row, whereas this is a deep divot, so it's in this row. So both in the 3-dot column, the R and the D, just different rows. So H, A, R, D. And then this little guy is a solid filled in circle on the line of our sentence circle. So here's our sentence circle line, and a solid filled in circle on it is a comma. So that'd be a comma. And I put this little gap here just to make this stand out as a dot, not like a bleed, like bulge in the line, which sometimes happens when tattooing. You just get kind of like a little bit of ink that makes it a little bit wider in parts. This will make sure we have a separate circle on the line of our sentence circle, and help keep it kind of clean. I did that here, here, and here. Pretty much anytime I have a filled in circle on the line of our anything, this is just the line modifier, these are both commas, I made a little gap here so I could shrink down these circles a little bit and have them a bit smaller, which would hopefully, help make the worst part of getting the ink less of the worst part, which is, I think, the filled in circles. They suck. Anyway, here's our next word. This is the sentence circle going around these 3 words. It's okay to have the sentence circle going around multiple words. Bottom of this word is here. We go counterclockwise. Here we have 1, 2, 3 dots on a shallow divot, making it an R, just like this R. Then we have the U, line going outwards, away from the middle of our word circle, like this purple one here. And then we have an N, a completed circle inside our word circle with 1 line modifier, so that would be a run. And then we have the bottom here going counterclockwise, F with 1, 2, 3 lines on it, so that would be an F. The A attached to the F, and then we have a shallow divot with 1, 2, 3 lines attached to it, so 3 lines, shallow divot is an S. And last but not least, we have this T, a shallow divot with no modifiers, because this line modifier passes right through it, and lines only count where they end on a letter stem. So that would be a blank, no consonant modifier stem, so it would be a T. So F-A-S-T, and here we have the comma between fast and then B. Bottom of the word is here. We continue counterclockwise until we hit this deep divot with no modifiers. So that'd be a B and then an E. And then we have kind of our trickiest word here. So here's our sentence circle with a period on it. Inside our sentence circle, we have our word circle. And at the bottom of it, we have this massive letter stack. There are 3 letters stacked here. So we're going to need to use all of our rules. And at the beginning, I said this is the only time where line thickness matters, because in letter stacking, you read thin to thick. So let me zoom in here. So here are the rules for letter stacking. You can only stack letters with the same stem. Yay, they're all in the same row. They're all in this row. Consonants are right before vowels. So we do have something in the middle of that. We're just going to have to remember that real quick, or zoom by. So we have this guy in the center of the stack, and this is an I because it has a line going inwards, like that, green one. So we have an I in this letter stack, and then we have 2 other consonants, this thin line and this thick line. So we read thin to thick, and then consonants come before vowels. But each slash through a vowel moves it up 1 letter in the stack. So this would be K and I, but the I gets moved up 1 letter, so it's K-I-N, because instead of consonants before vowels, we have to move that I up 1 letter because it's got 1 slash through it, so like that. So 2 dots makes that a K, 2 dots K, and then 1 line on the thick one makes that an N. So thin to thick K comes before the N, comes before the I, except the I gets moved up 1 place, so K-I-N. And then last but not least, we have this deep divot with 1, 2, 3 dots, making that a D, just like this D here. So laugh hard, period, or comma, run fast, comma, be kind, period. And this is a pristine example of punctuation and how it should work on a linear sentence, so feel free to be like, this is how it works on a linear sentence. You put it on the sentence circle and, yeah, boot and stuff. There's absolutely no bending of the rules in this design, so that's neat. Gold standard. This is how it should be written. Nothing is ambiguous. Yeah, so that's that. I hope this makes a bit of sense, and I hope you like your design. I like it a lot too. Thanks. Bye.